Hello, hello, everyone. and Welcome to our next community spotlight with Brian, aka Girbeagly. Thank you so much for joining me today. How are you? It's a wonderful Tuesday.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing great. I'm very excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you here. I got to see you speak on stage at the Play Live Summit, and I was like, wow, I gotta know this person. I gotta talk to them. I have to highlight them for AAPI month. So I'm excited to learn more about your journey and why you fundraise with your community. So everyone that's here, if you don't know who I am Miss Ash Rocks. You can also call me Ash, Miss Ash, whatever works for you. I'm Tiltify's community manager. I get to talk to amazing charities, amazing creators like Brian, and we're just gonna have a good time and dive right into the conversation. So first, we're gonna start with introduction. Brian, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your content creation journey? I would love to hear it.
Absolutely. So I'm a bit of a dinosaur in the content space. I started making YouTube videos about 10 years ago. And about 5 or so years ago, I transitioned over to being full time, which is really wild to me because growing up as like a young Korean kid who didn't see like a lot of Asians make it in sort of the public space, besides being like the butt of jokes in movies or like the mystical, old kung fu master or something. I didn't really have like a ton of like big positive role models. So when people started telling me that I was the role model and my content started taking off, it was really wild to see that happen. And it's been like an amazing thing, getting to sort of do YouTube and then transition a little bit more heavily into Twitch and just sort of seeing how the platform's grown. It's been so cool. So
That's awesome. And congratulations on being full time for the last
thank
5
you.
years, you said?
Yeah. Yep.
That's
It's been wild.
awesome. Yeah. And I think you do Let's Plays on YouTube, correct? What other content do you do on there?
So I started off doing sort of just a mix of like game reviews and sketch comedy, and like you said, let's plays were like probably the meat and potatoes. I was really inspired by other creators like Markiplier and the people at the
Mhm.
time way back then who were doing those let's plays, and it really stuck with me because I'm one of those people that like even back in the day, I'd sit down and again, I'm dating myself here, but like a friend would have like a Nintendo 64 at a party and I'd be the person sitting on the couch playing that while my friends gathered around and were like, "Say a funny joke over the gameplay." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I can kind of make that into my content. I do that already." So,
That's so cool. I envy you because I wish I liked recorded content. I am so obsessed with live content. You don't have to edit it or
oh
anything.
my
You
gosh,
just do
yeah.
your thing.
That's why I moved to Twitch a little bit more is yeah.
Yes. Yes. Do you go live on YouTube as well, or you just record videos for YouTube?
The only live stream I've ever done on YouTube was, I was moving houses and I didn't have my computer set up yet. So I did, we had our couch set up and I had my smartphone. I had my like iPhone 4, I think it was back in the day.
Oh my
And I was,
gosh. Yes.
I was like recording from like my couch. And that was the only time I've gone live on YouTube. But I hope that they like improve the interface over there a little bit just for options for other
Yeah.
people. But I've definitely found a home on Twitch and it's been very fun being able to do the like sort of live energy that you get from an audience.
Oh my
So
gosh, it keeps me fueled. That's for
yeah,
sure. Oh my gosh. I love it. That's awesome. So definitely got to check out your YouTube content. I'll do that after this chat because I love just throwing up a video while I'm working and just listening and laughing at the same time. It keeps my day going, makes the day go by faster. So
absolutely.
I'm excited to do that. And like I said, I saw you at the Play Live Summit this year, and I wanted to get more into fundraising and why you choose to fundraise with your community. What fuels you every time you create that campaign?
For me, again, I grew up as like kind of a lonely kid, and I started fundraising for causes that I was like, man, I remember those feelings of like loneliness or sadness as like a kid. So, raising money for kids who needed more food. Like I've gone hungry a couple times in my life. Things that have affected me personally, things that have affected people that I know, family, etc. In the beginning, again, sort of very kid focused, where it's like, these these are innocent people who haven't gotten to really experience life. Why wouldn't we give them as much of a platform to jump off of as we could before they headed into life? So that was a big thing, and then from there, it spread to things like St. Jude, where I've known, as many people have known, people affected by cancer, especially cancer, again, at a young age, something that is just this seemingly impossible thing to surmount, but organizations are working to overcome it. That's just so inspiring. It's so cool to see that I can leverage sort of my platform to do that. So,
Oh, I love that. I love hearing about your background, and now you're using your platform to do good for those that are in need since you were in that position before.
yeah,
I can relate to that tremendously too. You know, I've been there where you had no money, nothing to eat, no treatment or, support in that matter. So now you're doing good with St. Jude and other causes. And I love that. That's amazing. So that's your fuel to the fire. Like, I have to do this so nobody else gets to experience what I went through. So that's
absolutely.
amazing. That is very impactful. I love that. And what do you think would attribute the most to your fundraising with your community?
Um, I mean, as far as, the community aspect of it, again, it's so easy to make content. That's, like, a weird thing to say out loud because there's so many people who are like, "No, it's not. You need, like, the equipment and the know-how." No, you kinda just, like, turn on a camera and you start doing things. The fact that I've been given the privilege where my content has sort of grown beyond the average person's and has given me this reach that I really never imagined myself having. Being able to get other people involved to know that what I say is something that other people listen to and inspire them, and they wanna get involved, they want to do things that, sort of fuel me, that make me excited. That's awesome, and to be able to be like, "Hey, check out this great cause. Let's raise some awareness," even if you can't donate money, knowing that there's some sort of impact, is so cool, and I'm definitely one of those people who lives by the motto of "Leave the world better than you found it." I love the idea of that. Just again, because the more progress we make, the more we move that needle, the more hope these future generations have. So, I think that a lot of people in like a community aspect see themselves in that. They see themselves represented by causes, and there's really a cause for everything, and that's amazing to see. I love that. So,
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. There is a cause for everything,
yeah.
especially on Tiltify. We
Oh
have
yeah.
so many you could choose from. Something that you're passionate about. Wait, I want to support animal welfare, child
Right.
welfare,
Yeah. It's amazing.
cancer research, everything. We got it for you. And you can easily get causes set up on our platform too. So
Yeah.
just want to throw that out there to our community. Hey, have them reach out to us. We'll get them set up and verified on a platform so you can get ready to do some good with your community. I love it.
Mhm.
And Brian, what are some of your favorite things about fundraising with the Tiltify platform?
Oh my gosh. Again, so, because I'm a dinosaur in this space, I remember all the mess that it was to set up charity campaigns before
Mhm.
platforms like Tiltify. I was literally just explaining this to my community the other day. Like, it gets so messy if you're not using something like Tiltify because A, the funds have to go through some other source. Oftentimes they touch your bank account, which is just icky, like it's so hard to
Mhm.
explain why that has to happen before it goes to the cause. The cut that like a lot of the like we used to use like GoFundMe way back in the day, and what a mess, what a terrible thing for my taxes, for like just again making sure that like the cut wasn't so big that when I transferred it to the charity that it was like something that was impacting like our grand total, that kind of thing. I think the thing I love the most about Tiltify is not only the ease of setting up campaigns, but like there's so many tools. You guys have overlays, you guys have all sorts of ways to set up like charity incentives and milestones, and it's all front and center. And it just is so big for the charity space in so many ways. I think, especially with these past few years where everyone's been locked inside and we have to be in front of these
Yeah.
digital screens, having that sort of like that just front end centerness that Tiltify provides is so important for getting people involved because oftentimes through screens, we just like depersonalize, we sort of dissociate and go, oh, it's just a bunch of visual noise. Tiltify does it in this way that just it catches your attention. There are people who will be watching my stream and 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes in, they'll go, oh, I just saw the scrolling bar on the bottom. That's so cool. Oh my God, tell me more about like what you're doing. And like just having that readily available, it's so great. It's so awesome. I love it. So,
Yeah, I love our overlays. Definitely not biased or anything,
yeah.
but I love them. You know, it's just
Right.
you have the ease of just creating your campaign, setting up a quick overlay, and you can use that overlay for the future campaigns as well, and just add it as a browser source to your stream.
Yeah.
And you can do different ones, different kinds, different widgets you can add. It just makes it so easy. And that's why I will forever love Tiltify for the rest of my life with all my blood and
Yeah.
sweat and tears.
Absolutely.
'Cause it's just so easy and it makes it a fun experience. So, uh, talking more into like overlays and features and incentives, what are some of your favorite features of Tiltify itself?
Well, again, the overlays are awesome just because you can customize them to be as interactive or as in the background as you want. Nothing that Tiltify does is intrusive. Another thing that I really love is just the database that all of you have available. It's so cool to be like, I'm super passionate about this cause. I think that's like a big thing about like, becoming yourself as you grow up, finding out what really resonates with you as far as causes go, as far as what you want to represent in the world, etc. And I think a lot of people are always surprised when they start using Tiltify and they're like, oh, I really believe in this thing, but it's like this niche cause. And I'm like, well, look it up. Let's see if there's like something that like relates to that that's already in Tiltify's database. Finding those causes is so easy and people are always so surprised when they find them and they're like, "Oh, I can launch a fundraising campaign right here." It makes it so, so nice. So, so easy again. It's great.
I love
So,
it. Yes, I couldn't agree more. And I know that you have some experience doing cosplays for
yes.
charity. Um, can you tell us some of your favorite incentives that you have done for your campaigns too?
Oh my gosh. This was a few years ago. I had set a very, very large, donation goal of $20,000 for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. And in the back of my mind, I was like, this is the most I've ever tried to raise. We're not going to hit this, but we're going to get kind of close. But like, it'd be sort of silly if I, set up this goal where if we hit it, I would fly from New York, where I live, out to LA to visit one of my very good friends, Ethan Nestor, formerly known as Crank Gameplays. Um, and on stream, uh, have him give me a haircut. Give me a bowl cut specifically. I was willing to sacrifice my hair for the cause. And so we hit it. Much to my surprise, I bought a plane ticket and I was out there and live on camera. He gave me what was supposed to be a bowl cut, but ended up being just this gigantic mess of him wimping out halfway through. So it ended up way worse than a bowl cut. It was just various lengths of hair all around my head. It was like half mullet, half something else. It was just awful. But yeah, that was probably the funniest thing I've ever done for charity. But yeah, that was a big moment for sure.
Oh my. I hope you have pictures of that
Oh
haircut
gosh, yeah. It's
somewhere. I
terrible.
I have to see that.
Yeah, I'll have to DM you some, yeah.
Yes, please. Oh my gosh. Ethan is such a gem too.
Yeah,
Such a
absolutely.
gem. Love him. Oh my gosh. And at this point, Brian, I'm giving you the title of being a veteran fundraiser. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Put it in your Twitter bio. Okay. Thank you. Um,
Thank you.
but what if someone that wants to start their first campaign, they come up to you, hey, Brian, you've done amazing, work with your fundraisers throughout the years. What advice would you give me to do my first campaign?
Um, I would probably say never underestimate your impact. One of the big things that we talk about in my community is ripple effect, where you never are too small to make a difference. You might be someone who's like, well, if I retweet this campaign or if I start this campaign, I only have 12 followers on Twitter. Who's going to see that? You never know if out of those 12 people, maybe two of them are going to retweet you, or two of them are going to go, hey, my family was directly impacted by this thing. I'm going to come by and donate like $200 or something. You never know who's going to see what you do. So, like, out of those two people who retweet you, maybe they have 200 followers. And out of those 200 followers, 12 people retweet them. And eventually just keeps getting retweeted and it grows and it raises awareness. And you've done this thing that's so far beyond what you expected. And even if it doesn't do that, you still tried. You still did something. You still fundraised something. I remember I had a community member years ago who was like, Brian, I tried to fundraise for this cause and I only raised $15. And I went, what do you mean you only raised $15? That's $15 more than zero that the charity now has. That's $15 that their, admin staff can buy office supplies and keep the business running, or they can pay for their web domain for another month or something like that. Like, you directly impacted that cause.
Oh, I love that. Please know that every dollar you raise is impactful to that cause. And that cause would be so thankful for you just bringing awareness to your community and your audience and taking a time to fundraise too. Like, that is like the best advice, Brian. Like, I just want our community to know that everything you do is donating to the cause. Raising awareness is just as impactful as raising funds.
Yeah,
Okay. Word
absolutely.
of mouth is so powerful. Again,
Absolutely.
those 12 followers, you could get all 12 of those followers to donate a dollar or all of them to retweet. Maybe half of those 12 will donate a dollar. Hey, those dollars matter. And you taking the time to do this is incredible work. And I think with every campaign, you learn something new. I'm
Absolutely.
still learning something
Oh, yeah.
new, right? It's been 7 years. Like,
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
always learning something new, something different to do. And I think it's important to just have fun with your fundraising. And please,
Absolutely.
uh, don't, if you don't have the funds to, afford like balloons or something, you can use clip art on
There you
OBS.
go. Yeah. People love a good
Okay.
stuffed dream.
Hey, yep, and they make donations, I'm
Yep,
telling you.
absolutely.
Yep, there's a good friend of mine, Chobo, or Cheeb, sorry, that's her
Oh,
old
yeah.
Twitch name.
Yeah.
Cheeb, she always has, like, clip art, even just when she's not fundraising, just all over her entire screen, covering all over her body. All you can
She's
see
so
is her
fun.
face.
She's great.
She's so fun. I adore her so much. So, yeah, just do what you can, and even if you can't, uh, or if you don't have the bandwidth to do incentives or milestones, just you being there is impactful. So keep that
Absolutely.
in mind. I want to merge our advice together because I think it's good
Absolutely.
pieces of
Oh my gosh, yeah,
advice.
absolutely.
Absolutely, right? Well, okay, here comes the emotional part, Brian. I hope you're ready.
Mm.
Okay. All right. If I asked you to write a thank you letter to your community, what would it say?
Well, with my community, I love them so much, but they do call themselves blurst. It's a mix of blessed and cursed. So emotions, some of them have some avoidant tendencies when I start getting sappy in my old age. But if I were to talk directly to my community right now about everything, again, no matter if you're someone who is simply lurked a stream and offered me energy through your viewership, or you're someone who's donated money directly to the causes that we've affected, you have caused some kind of impact. You have oftentimes changed, if not saved, the lives of complete strangers, which is literally the most selfless thing you can do as a human being. Is you will never have these people directly say thank you to you, but you gave out of the goodness of your heart. And that's something that I'm so proud of. And I'm so glad that we built a community together that's allowed us to do that. So thank you.
I love it. Oh, my favorite question of our spotlights. I love it. It's just so sweet. Makes me sappy and I'm emotional. So I have to keep it together. All right. But Brian, I'm so proud of you. You are killing it right now for seeing you play live. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you for being a part of the Tiltify community and using our platform with your community to do good. We appreciate you so much. And I can't wait to see what else you get to do in the future. I'll
Oh,
be
thank you.
lurking behind the scenes and supporting you along the way. Uh, if you had any future projects you want to share with our community or any fun things you have planned, you can share them now.
Um, so a lot of the stuff that I'm doing currently, obviously besides raising money via Tiltify for great causes, normally involves voice acting. A lot of it I can't talk about because of NDA. But on June 1st, it's going to be season 2 of a podcast, actually the first podcast I've ever voice acted on, called the Technomancy Project. It's basically a sci-fi horror sort of podcast for fans of like X-Files or Supernatural, Doctor Who, you name it. And we'll see. I actually don't even know if my character is going to survive the season or not yet. So
Ooh,
kind of something exciting for both of us to look forward to. So
that's awesome. I can't wait. And you said June 1st, correct?
yes, yep.
All right. I will be there. I will be ready. Thank you so much, Brian. I
Thank
appreciate your
you.
time today. And can you tell our community where they can find you on social media?
Absolutely. I go by Girbeagly on everything, so I'm pretty easy to find. So YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. Just look up Girbeagly. I'm not popular enough for people to steal my name anymore, so go out and find me.
Yes, you are. You're an icon to me in my eyes.
Thank
You're
you.
an
You
icon.
are, you are.
Stop. Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And we'll see you next week with the community, our next community spotlight. Sorry. And make sure you follow Brian down below. We'll have all those social links so you can keep up with their content. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.